What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this video, but that's okay. I'm not in the business of being liked, or I'm not in the business of saying things to pander to certain people or so on and so forth. I'm going to say how I feel about a subject, regardless of who likes it or who doesn't. So let's commence. So, a lot of the companies and businesses in partnership with Mr. Kanye West have now severed ties with the brother. They've ended their relationships with Kanye. One of those corporations I saw this morning was Adidas. Adidas has now terminated their partnership with Kanye, so the Yeezy shoe, Kanye and the Yeezy shoe that propelled him to be this billion-dollar black man, that's over with, right? First thing I saw when I said when I saw this was, that's interesting. Adidas has to know they won't recover from this. Honestly, they don't have a shoe, a signature shoe that is bigger than the Yeezy brand, or even as big, nowhere near as close to that shoe, right? So I don't know, like they're gonna take a loss tremendously, because the Yeezy shoes were keeping their brand relevant and afloat for sure. It definitely was not the shell toes, and it wasn't Pharrell's terrible shoes either, right? However, I want to discuss the bigger picture from all of this. You see, for those of you who are new to my channel, I am a pro-black man, all the way around. I'm a pro-black man all the way around. I've spoken on issues and topics affecting our people, whether it be from gang violence, whether it be from oppression, from systemic racism, so on and so forth. I've spoken about those topics on this channel. So that means I gotta call it how I see it. And in this situation in particular, Mr. Kanye West crashed out and committed self-sabotage. It's clear to see. And he committed this self-sabotage not because he's this supreme conscious black man that is seeking out true freedom for our black people. That's not why he committed self-sabotage and crashed out. It's because Kanye West is a narcissist that thinks he can say and do whatever he wants without any consequences or repercussions. That's the thing. See, now the Jewish community is holding him accountable and giving him economic punishment. Kanye didn't lose this bag willingly as a freedom fighter for his people. He didn't sacrifice his livelihood like Muhammad Ali, like the great Muhammad Ali, for the plight of black American people. That ain't what Kanye doing. Kanye lost his, he didn't lose this bad because he wanted to be revolutionary and stand up for black folks. So let's just kill that talk right now. A lot of y'all running around with this whole idea that Kanye is just, oh my God, he's so for our people. He's so for liberating and being free and helping black people understand the true power of freedom, that he did this to make a statement for us and all this and all of that and do what he want to do on his own terms and own merits. No, cut it out, fam. That's not it. But it is something though. It's telling. It's very telling how no company ended their relationship with Mr. Kanye West when he said that slavery was a choice for our ancestors who were raped and pillaged. Right? When he said slavery was a choice, he didn't lose any relationships with none of these companies. That's very, very interesting to me. Right? It's so crazy. It was okay for Kanye to disrespect black folks and our black ancestors and so on and so forth. It was okay for him to do that. But just not your people. He can't talk about your people. That really was telling for me that black people are disrespected and thrown and disregarded. They don't care nothing about what black folks get disrespected. No matter, no care, whatever. But when you say something about their people, they standing on all 10 for theirs. Right? They're gonna hold you accountable. They're gonna make you feel the consequences or repercussions for saying things they don't like about their people. Right? That's something. Really is. Like, wow. But the problem is, this is the thing. Too many black folks defended Kanye when he said that slavery was a choice, right? Other communities do not play that. They have no room for that. They're not going to let you slide or get away with it. They're not going to hee ha ha. They're not going, oh, I can see what he's saying. I know he didn't really mean it like this. They're not going to play none of that. They're going to say, no, we ain't going to let that ride. We ain't fooling with that, In our community, when he made disparaging remarks about slavery, or was it like it was a choice, as if our ancestors like First of all, as if our ancestors, like we don't have many stories about ancestors fighting back and leading revolts. Like we don't know about Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, so on and so on. Like we don't know about these things. You know, like Toussaint Louverture, like these things did not happen. And then to just say like, oh, that was a choice. Sound like a choice to me. What? Are you gonna excuse the mental warfare that like black folks' minds were like, I mean, they were mind effed beyond measure, raped and pillaged and taken from their families, stripped of their culture, stripped of their land, stripped of their resources, so on and so forth, and taken to foreign land, and then where they didn't know where, like how to navigate. And they were held captive to where you can watch your wife and daughter be raped. And then knew that you would be killed and nobody would be there you wouldn't be there with them to protect them for certain other things, so on and so. It was just a horrible time period. So for him to go up there and say that slavery was a choice, that was wild, because it's a lot of people that tell black folks to get over slavery. That didn't happen to us. It don't matter no more. Yeah, slavery happened, but I mean, hey, it helped the economy. You know, and I mean, hey, like, you know, and it almost is him giving credence to those things with him saying slavery was a choice. That's why I could never stand behind that brother when he said that. But you had black folks out there trying to absolve him. Oh, he really didn't. What he really meant was, he really meant it for today's time. We don't have to be slaves to the corporations, and we can try to liberate all that plebiscite talking. What he really mean is, y'all remember when Damon Wayans was in that skit in what's my show, in Living Color? All people, black folks out there using certain words they don't even know the meanings to, just to say stuff to try to get to absolve Kanye from saying that slavery was a choice for our ancestors who were raped and pillaged and beaten and brutalized. Y'all trying to give him an out. Y'all were trying to give him an out so much y'all pulling stuff out of thin air. What he really meant was he trying to fight for the liberation of the people with the new man, I'm like, man, get up out of here. But again, black folks let that slide. And then even neo-Nazi groups co-signed his slavery was a choice statement against our people, right? Black folks let it slide. You have black folks taking up for him and all this and all of that. And oh, he really didn't mean it like that. Black folks need to take notes, right? Don't just talk like, we don't need to just talk about how dope his music is, because the music was always dope and fire, right? I talk about how, I know the whole Late Registration album front to back. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Instead of talking about how fire his shoes is, hold that brother accountable when he says things that are denigrating against our people. Just like the Jewish community is doing against him now. You know? What this really is about is, this ain't about no liberation. Kanye trying to liberate us and stand on all 10 for black folks and show black folks how to be strong-powered and strong-willed. This ain't what this about. What this really is that Kanye thought he had more power and influence than he really does. He thought he had more power and influence than he really does. He thought that after saying disparaging things about black ancestors and slavery, like Harriet Tubman, she didn't really free the slaves. She sent them to be slaves to other white folks, right? Him throwing the black community under the bus by saying slavery was a choice, coming out with a White Lives Matter shirt and denigrating the death of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd, right? Trying to say he wasn't really on his neck like that and it was a fentanyl overdose that led to the death, even though the coroner's report said that George Floyd died of strangulation, right? Kanye thought that after saying those things about the black community and he didn't get any, he wasn't reprimanded for it, he didn't go through any consequences or repercussions, he thought after he said that and he walked away scot-free, he thought he can do and say whatever the hell he wanted to say. Because he never was truly held accountable for throwing dirt on the black community. Nobody in the black community, not nobody, but we as a collective didn't really, we didn't hold his feet to the fire and hold him accountable for saying those things. So he thought he could say and do whatever he wanted to do. And the irony about this is that, for everybody saying that, he's so on his pro-black, he's such a revolutionary type stuff for black folks and all this and all of that. And, when Kanye was talking about, denigrating the murder of George Floyd and saying slavery was a choice, the brother was using alt-right talking points and rhetoric against black folks that he thought would establish him a friend base amongst the elites, right? He thought he would be so popular and loved by the elite that he would have them on his side so he could say whatever he wanted to say and they was going to rat it out with him, Kanye thought that talking like Candace Owens, talking like Tucker Carlson would have the elites on his side and he would make friends. Brother, you don't got no friends in this business. You don't. Them elites are not your friends, and now he's finding that out, right? And now he is receiving that alt-right wake-up call, that inward wake-up call, brother. Wake up, bro. This ain't bro. Them ain't your friends. You ain't all so goody and buddy. You talking all they talk points, even trying to identify with the stuff. You trying to identify with them so much. This is the irony of all of this. Because they call Kanye this big revolutionary, the brother has been trying to assimilate to a lot of their beliefs and stuff. With the disparaging things he was saying about black folks. He been trying to assimilate to a lot of the anti-black talk at times. To buddy up and fit in those circles. Even trying to talk different. Now when you see him talk, yeah, and so my children, and yeah. When the hell Kanye wasn't talking like that when he first came out. He was talking, I'm a Chicago, Illinois native, born and raised, south side to the bone, Gristle. If you cut me right now, 773 will fall out my arm in blood. That's how much Chicago I am. That's how much Chicago run through my veins, right? So, you know, I was always rooting for Kanye through the years, but I saw through the BS. I saw through it a long time ago. I know what that brother be on, man. He be trying to get all of them dudes on his side to sell, to get his stuff to sell and get his stuff to propel and all this and all of that. And nobody really seek white acceptance more than Kanye West, for real, in these mainstream American industries in all them worlds. Kanye did, which is why he started trying to talk different. And yeah. When he first came out, he was Kanye to the, I'm from Chicago, man. Long as Chicago riding with me, Joe. Long as the crib riding with me. Now he, yeah, and so, yeah, and it's really, yeah, it's really peculiar. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. That ain't how he talk. But again, he been trying to assimilate with them for a while, and he thought when he talked those Tucker Carlson talking points and those Candace Owens talking points, that he would butter up to them and cozy up with them, and that he would be looked at as an equal amongst them to where he could say whatever he want to say, right? He receiving that alt-right wake-up call. Kanye is finding out that he doesn't have the economic independence he thought he had, and that he is not such a genius that he is above reproach and consequences. He's finding out that he didn't make friends for real by talking those anti-black alt-right talking points. And the Jewish community is holding him accountable, right? Again, black folks, y'all see how the Jewish community is holding him accountable for what they deem as disrespect towards their people, right? Now, the comments that I heard, you know, from what I heard, they didn't seem anti-Semitic, but I didn't hear the whole Drink Champs interview. But nonetheless, if what it seemed to me, they didn't feel like it was. I mean, they felt like it was anti-Semitic, and so they're making him pay for that, right? That's what black folks should have been doing. And maybe he wouldn't have gotten to this point to harm himself economically with other groups of people so tremendously, right? If black folks would have held him accountable and said, oh, no, we're going to stop this right now. Maybe he would have said, man, because everybody, they care about Kanye so much. If we would have stopped him right then in his tracks when he said stuff about our folks, maybe he would have realized then, I'm getting too big for my britches. And again, I know it's a lot for a guy who's narcissistic and is on medication. So I know sometimes he's not 100% responsible for some of the things he says. Sometimes, right? Sometimes. I'm not going to get that brother out that he just don't know what he's doing. He knows a lot of what he's doing because y'all always tell me he's such a genius and he knows exactly what he's doing. So he knows what the hell he's doing, right? But nonetheless, I know how big his ego is and all this and all that. But if black folks would have checked him for talking about our community, he wouldn't have gotten to this point where he would have done this damage to himself economically. Because everybody like, oh, he's still a billionaire. He's still a billionaire. Fam, what was making him a billionaire was that Adidas deal. And now that it's gone, stuff will plummet. Now that that deal is gone. You got to know and understand that. He can start his own whatever. Stuff is plummeting right now. You know what I mean? And he would have known if we would have checked him, he would have known I can't say certain stuff and everything I want to say. I got to be responsible with certain stuff that I say, even though I may want to say this and say that. You got to be responsible and you got to be responsible for what you say, and you have to really what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you got to really think before you start talking and think about things in a long-term aspect. For real, before you just start rambling off at the mouth. And for everybody like, oh my God, because there's a lot of people acting like Kanye said something so profound when he was talking about, you know, certain stuff within the Jewish community. He thought he was saying something so everybody like, oh my God, did you hear what he said? Brother, I've been in the conscious community for a while. Not a member, but I'm saying I've been looking at and observing and taking in content from the conscious community for years now. That is not nothing new that he said. There's nothing new under the sun. What he said has been said by a lot of other black folks within the conscious community. And even folks that were once like even some people who like Professor Griff, who was a part of a big time rap group, Public Enemy. Now again, he was kicked out before they really, I don't know, was it before they really got to that main success? At some point he was kicked out because saying certain things like this, like Kanye said, right? So it's not nothing new under the sun. It's some people just never heard it before, so they acting like Kanye just is so big of a genius that oh my God. Kanye repeating stuff he probably heard from those individuals himself, right? But nonetheless, if black folks would have checked Kanye for real, for his blatant disrespect of our community and ancestors, he would have gotten the picture that he can't just say and do whatever he want to say and do whatever he want. He would have gotten the picture that he can't just say whatever he want to say and do what he want. But instead, black folks always justified his disrespect to us by calling him some sort of genius. Like, oh my God, he got this genius plan that people just can't see because y'all just being too emotional. He got this genius plan. All this and all of that. A lot of my people let Kanye piss on our community and the sacrifices of our ancestors publicly and became convinced it was simply rain and not piss. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people and a lot of black folks let Kanye piss on our community and the sacrifices of our ancestors publicly. Let him piss on it publicly. And then we became convinced it was simply rain and not piss. You got to see stuff for what it is, y'all. Not for what you want it to be, not for what you hope it to be, but for what it really is. And it was blatant disrespect to our black folks. He taught pushing them alt-right talking points to cozy up to them, to get led into them industries and all of that. Like, that's what it was, man. Black folks justified them White Lives Matter shirts, his slavery comments, and his George Floyd denigration, instead of acknowledging it as bullshit. Black folks justified it, which allowed his ego and narcissism to continue to flourish and balloon to the point where he made comments about the very people who he is mostly in business with. He's mostly in business with these same individuals, and he made comments that they deem as disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because his ego and narcissism let him believe he could say whatever he want to say, which is the definition of self-sabotage, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that is. Kanye does a lot of silly and goofy stuff, and black folks try to mask it as revolutionary. We gotta stop. Black folks, we gotta stop. Come on, man. The same man that said slavery was a choice concerning the rape and pillage of our ancestors, the same person who was pushing a White Lives Matter shirt that he knows is basically a counteracting of the Black Lives Matter movement, not the organization, because the organization is something separate. The movement was to end police brutality against unarmed black folks in America. Right? Not that organization. I don't give no black folks in the hood donate to that organization. We don't give a fuck about that organization. We don't know the inner workings of that organization. No black person in the hood can tell you that. We didn't have an attachment to the organization. We had an attachment to the statement, the phrase Black Lives Matter, right? And so that White Lives Matter shirt is directly opposing the Black Lives Matter movement. And he knows and understands that. And he did that because he wanted that community to buy his shirts. A lot of people probably couldn't stand Kanye West within that alt-right community. But when he said that, they found a winner in that. They found a winner in him at that point, and they were all in because he had that statement, White Lives Matter, on his shirt, right? So we gotta stop, man. Black folks, that man don't give a damn about you or me. That man only care about him, about himself, his kids, and whoever Kim Kardashian is sleeping with when she not with him. Again, Kanye don't care about black folks. When it said, because this is the same man that said George Bush doesn't care about black people. Kanye West is well beyond that now. He's in these rounds. He was rubbing them elbows with those elites, and he was trying to start talking alt-right talking points. You know what I mean? And when he got up in certain rooms, he felt like to get in certain rooms, he had to do that. He felt like he had to do that, right? Even though it's certain individuals and celebrities that showed you they don't got to do that to get fame and fortune and respect, like the great Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? even if in today's generation, I ain't seen no LeBron James talk like this disparaging about black folks, and he's still getting lifetime deals with Nike, so on and so forth. But nonetheless, Kanye felt like he had to throw black folks under the bus willy-nilly at every turn to get into the rooms, right? And now he's dealing with the consequences of the black community not checking him with his own. He's dealing with his own consequences, but we didn't check him, and he felt like he could say and do whatever the hell he wanted to do, and now he's facing consequences from that. You know, I don't wish no harm on the brother. I don't wish the brother any I don't wish him bad luck or any I don't wish ill will on the brother. But I'm not finna sit here and cry for Kanye West. I'm not. I'm not sitting here empathizing and sympathizing with Kanye West. I don't. Because I simply do not co-sign disrespect to the black community, black folks. And I'm talking about a concerted effort to disrespect black folks at every turn. Slavery was a choice. Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. She just sent them to other white folks. White Lives Matter t-shirts. The police wasn't on George Floyd neck like that. Fentanyl was all that, bro. No. I don't empathize with stuff like that. I'm sorry. I don't even care if oh my God, he made some good points and all this and all that. I don't know. I don't care, bro. Sorry. No. And all black folks that's out there that love Kanye West, and they make it seem like he is such a genius and he has this master plan devised for our community. You know what I mean? And then they tell me he's this free-thinking person who is being true to himself. Well, this is what happens when keeping it real goes wrong. And I hope all of y'all defending Kanye West and absolving him of all his actions and disrespect towards our black people, I hope y'all support his next moves. Right? I hope y'all support him in wholeheartedly and steadfast, and be steadfast in his support the way y'all are defending him now when he made those statements about black folks and the black community, when he said all these things that are harmful to the black community, knowing the power and the voice that he has, saying those things, he has all these non-black fans and all these non-black people that listen to his music that will repeat the same stuff Kanye West says about our ancestors and make us feel less than, and they feel validated and Kanye gives them credence when he said those things, right? Kanye know the platform he got, and he was saying that type of stuff that they can do harm to our community and give other anti-black people, other people who spew anti-black racism, give them ammunition. He was giving people who spew anti-black racism and anti-black alt-right rhetoric ammunition, because Mr. Kanye West, because they always prop up our entertainers as our leaders in our community, in the black community. They prop up the entertainers as the leaders of our community. So they're looking like, oh my God, black leader Kanye West agrees with us. Wow. Yes, man, those N-words need to get over slavery. It was a choice for their people. Yes, George Floyd died from fentanyl. The police officer should not have been arrested. He wasn't on that man's neck like that. Yes, white lives do matter, because get that Black Lives Matter movement up out of there. It's racist to black is racist. Black people are being racist. So yes, we need the White Lives Matter movement. And who gives a damn about Harriet Tubman? Slavery wasn't that bad. It was all right. It happened so long ago. It's all right. Kanye speaks for us. He knows his words can be weaponized against our people, because he's so revered outside of the black community. So I ain't empathizing with Kanye West, man. But again, I hope all y'all who defend him for all that stuff, I hope y'all support him the way y'all defending him now. But all in all, man, Kanye, this ain't how you handle business. Kanye don't even know which way is up for real. He's just out here doing stuff and crashing out. He ain't got no master plan, y'all. Like Tommy, he ain't got no job. He ain't got no master plan. This is not the college dropout or late registration Kanye. And again, those were the times when his mother, who I feel like was the one who was really keeping him all together and keeping him grounded, Miss Donda West, was it Dr. Donda West? She was still alive at that point. And so I think since that happened, it's been a different chord struck in him. Something that is not complimentary. Something that is not always tasteful. But again, and everybody hollering, oh, so what? He getting dropped from these deals. Kanye is still a billionaire. Like I said before, the Adidas deal he just lost is what helped to make him a billionaire in the first place. All those different partnerships. He, meaning Kanye West, just fumbled that bag. Not because he is a pro-black conscious brother, but because Mr. Kanye West is a narcissist who thinks he can do and say whatever the hell he wants with no consequences. Y'all, I'm out. Peace. Have a blessed Tuesday. Machiavelli Mills TV. Watch the video. Subscribe to the channel.